speaking of civil war, or war, period, honestly, you know, a lot of people are talking about the, I call it the Israel-Palestine war drama, because it's drama. Drama, there's death in drama, there's horror in drama, there's evil in drama, but it's still just drama. When I say just drama, I say that because we don't need to be so concerned with it, you know? Some of you guys are harsh Israel critics. Some are even Israel haters. Some of you guys are harsh Muslim critics. Some of you guys are Muslim haters. Some of you guys want them all to destroy each other. Some of you guys wish them both well, or pretend like you do, or don't take sides type stuff. And they're trying to get the ladies' emotions riled, in my opinion. They being the liberal media and the evil governments / United Nations. The United Nations, in my opinion, tries to make themselves seem important. Try to make themselves valuable in the world. And it's a good thing to try to, I guess, to try to make yourself valuable in the world. But I think you should just do your work and you'll become valuable in the world, rather than meddling. The UN is Israel, said Flat Earth victory to Hake during Hake News at the end of hour 2, maybe, or something, of the Jason Lee Peterson show today, maybe the end of hour 1. And I've pointed that out to you guys. Well, I've heard, and I think it's true, that the UN founded the Israel that we know of today. They were involved in it. Has the UN done anything good? And now the UN is kind of turning on Israel. They've been doing that for a lot of time, because they have, you know, fiends pretend to be your friend. They help you, and then they also turn on you. And there's a whole lot of hatred and enmity between the races, the nations, the religions, the Hatfields and McCoys, if you will. And by Hatfields and McCoys, those were two famous feuding families, I heard, in America somewhere, where one killed the other, and the other killed the other, and it became endless revenge. Revenge. They don't even remember what they were fighting about, I think. It's kind of like Israel is occupying Gaza, and in my mind, it's partly because Gaza is firing rockets into Israel, but Gaza is firing rockets into Israel because Israel is occupying Gaza, so it's never going to end. But anyway, whatever. The UN meddling has, my opinion, made things worse, even though they're trying to swoop in and save these people who are supposedly innocent civilians. When I say supposedly innocent civilians, countries fail because the people of the countries are failures on the whole. The ones who are competent are maybe held down, I get that. And the ones who are incompetent or corrupt are running the show. But that's a failure of the people. Like, look at America. The people are quite corrupt. We could criticize the government all we want, but we, the people, are corrupt. Same thing with how I see, which I don't see, what I sort of assume about the Palestinians. They are just a seemingly dysfunctional bunch of people. Like most people, but they're not even on a level where they can establish their country definitively, apparently, I guess. But anyway, the evil UN has this woman who's acting like... I have pictures of this. I read this in Hake News. Like, she's so important. It's an activist woman. The UN team has found clear and convincing information that hostages in Gaza were R-worded. Unpleasant little headline there. And hostages in Gaza are Israelis and other foreigners whom the Hamas allegedly kidnapped and took as hostages for bargaining chips. Pretty smart. Well, I don't know if it's smart, but effective. And so now the UN is pretending like they're this fair-minded, objective, helpful force. My opinion, they're not. Pramila Patten is the name of this gal, and she's Mauritian barrister. Barrister is not a barista. She doesn't work at Starbucks, unfortunately. She's too old to work at Starbucks, I think. But that's a lawyer. She's from, look at this title on her. Picture of her from 2018. United Nations, which I say they're evil, Special Representative on Sexual Violence in Conflict. So they have a whole position called S-word violence in war. By conflict, they mean war, basically. She's been in there for like 7 years, since 2017. Almost 7 years. Clear and convincing information that hostages held in Gaza were subjected to the S-word violence. But you read into it, it's circumstantial evidence. So, one, because they couldn't find quote-unquote survivors of the R-word. And two, because whatever. They couldn't find direct evidence. It's hard to find evidence of the R-word. Especially the longer time goes on. But this gal, she's a women's rights activist. A women's rights activist is not necessarily going to be objective, especially a lawyer. A lawyer has been trained on being objective or being, I don't know if a lawyer has been truly trained on being objective, but on knowing the hoops to jump through to present your case, really. I think human beings, if they are unemotional, then they can be more objective. This woman is an activist. An activist is an emotional person, generally. Women's rights activist, United Nations official, serves as United Nations special representative on that thing. What I just said, the dirty thing. S-word violence in conflict. In other words, she thinks that she's a referee. Tweet, Hamas, you guys did wrong to the poor innocent people, we'll call them, because S-word violence happens against both people. Males and females can get R-worded. And yes, Terry, it does happen. I wasn't saying that it doesn't happen. Terry in the chat was saying, hate doesn't think R-word happens. She was teasing, of course. This 65-year-old Mauritius. Do you know how to pronounce this name, Hassan? Mauritius? Mauritius. British Mauritius she was born in. So she looks Mauritian. And so she's like this almost India-looking woman, I think. That region. Maybe Southeast Asia. No, I don't know. Dark Pacific Islander, maybe. Who knows? She replaced this other black woman who looks like Haja Zainab Hawa Bangara, Sierra Leonean politician and social activist. Activists involved in the evil UN. That's why I call them evil. Especially when they're involved in so-called women's rights. Ladies, I think that you would prefer men looking out for you rather than these gals. Why else do I call the UN evil? Well, for one, they called America racist. Some organization in the UN. Like, it's this huge thing that everybody wants to get involved in, and it meddles, and sometimes they do some stuff that's supposedly nice. They bring supplies and try to pretend like they're do-gooders. but it's, you know what they say about do-gooders. Do-gooders hamstring the people so that they don't take care of themselves. The UN founded Israel, and then they, at the same time, they founded this thing for Palestinian refugees 75 years ago or something like that. And to this day, these Palestinians are so-called refugees. Get it together. But you can't get it together because the UN is involved. It's spoiling you. Spoiling you, and yet you're still, when you're spoiled, you're at a low. They're keeping you down. Crazy. Director General, this gal who was replaced by the other gal was the Director General of United Nations office in Nairobi. Secretary General, UN Secretary General is the guy who's on the top of the UN right now. He's like the president of the UN. They call it Secretary General. Antonio Guterres. No, it's not Gutierrez. He's like a socialist. A socialist is an atheist. An atheist is a mama. This man, we have, UN is run by a mama. Where's daddy? Daddy's home. We need daddy to be home. Anyway, I feel like I might be rambling a bit. To steal a line from the American Anchor Baby. And so anyway, that's enough for that one. Thank you, Hassan. The UN is like, hey, Israel, now you need to work with us to help us get to the bottom of what happened. And I'm like, go sit down, UN. You're a bunch of corrupt people. The world is corrupt. There was some chats related to this story. Lin Yunshin said, stop sucking air through your mouth, Hake. It is nasty and degenerate, and it destroys your own nervous system. Because I was going, oh, sorry, Lin Yunshin, I just did it again. Lin Yunshin has been telling people not to breathe through their nose since before Sean said it on the Jesse Lee Peterson show. And nobody listened until Sean said it, and now people are listening. That's why you need to call in sometimes, Lin Yunshin. Nice. But thank you, Lin Yunshin. You don't need to do anything but stay black and Asian and live. And live. Terry Strange said, Hake doesn't believe that anyone commits R-word. That's not true. That's not true. But that's okay. And no, I was not mad at you. Kevin Howe said, Biden hates Bibi. Oh, yeah. Evil Biden and evil Obama hate based Bibi Benjamin Netanyahu. And I use the term base loosely. Well, I guess I better like Netanyahu, so I'm not on the side of evil Biden. Durr. Kevin Howe kind of mocking me, rolling his eyes at Hake. Yeah. That's only part of the reason why I like Bibi. And I know that that's a wrong reason to like him, just because Obama and Biden seem to hate him. Because many of people you shouldn't like anybody for a dumb reason like that. That's true. But I also like Bibi because he just seems manlier than your average politician. I get that that's a low bar. It is a very low bar. Yeah. Air is one said, women enjoy violence, changed my mind. Yeah. That's true. They do. Hake, let it go, says Terry. Okay. They do. They overreact to it. That's that enjoyment. As JLP calls it, a thrill. They're getting a thrill out of the violence. That's why they talk about violence against women. Makes me roll my eyes. This drama, you know? And these simps, simping for it. They attract it unto themselves sometimes. They are the biggest warmongers. They're the most, as that guy, George Orwell, maybe wrote in 1984 about women, and somebody in my comments said it. They are the most bigoted, meaning blinders on, wearing their blinders, the most blind supporters of whatever group that the ego has attached them to. The thing that they think is so powerful that makes them feel self-righteous. And that's violence, hatred, anger. It's just the men are more capable of it. More capable, more responsible, too. So again, Flat Earth Victory said, the UN is, quote-unquote, Israel. Hake, ya mindless boy. Well, thank you, chat, for edumamificating me. So, by the way, Kamala Harris, a couple days ago, she's the so-called vice president. Give me a break. Issued a sharp rebuke of Israel over the humanitarian catastrophe in Gaza. Overreaction is enjoyment, asks Reese's Vids. Yeah, because otherwise you wouldn't indulge in that overreaction. To appease the evil emotions. In a sick, twisted way, it surely is. Thank you for the nice question there. So that's your Israel-Palestine war drama update, if you want to call it that. I'm not sure if that was insightful or not, but whatever. Shout out to the chat. I don't call them tards. I do not. Hake is the ard. Tay.